You and I have a mutual acquaintance by the name of Azazel, says Varys, staring at you with his serpent eyes. I've watched you and Azazel in your few encounters, and I've been perplexed. He pauses, then regards you, tilting his gold head. Perplexed with? You prompt. How could someone like you, a gutter rat, survive? He says, clopping forward on his hooves. With the struggle of your will, you hold your ground as he approaches. Now he towers over you, his body radiating heat. You're not breathing through your nose for fear that you will gag. Zazel asks the same thing. You say, she left off the gutter rat though. Yes, I watched as she intervened. She interviewed you about how you defeated Thog's godlings, says Varys. She was as curious as I am, yet I was unsatisfied with your answer. Now I've come a long way to ask you myself. What do you say? I didn't think any of these would work. I'm just gonna go with the common answer. I'm favored by chess. You say. The devil shakes his head slowly and says, I'm afraid you would say that. So typical of gutter rats like you to give praise to luck. You shrug. Predictable, and perhaps because it's true. Duchess is the only patron we gutter rats have. All the other gods do not bother with the lowly. At least he knows his place, says the lich. Something, although I think he hides something. He raises his hand. Shall I wrench it from him? Save your strength for the night ahead, says the devil. Expected this answer, yet I wanted to confirm. Sorry to have made you come all this way, you say. You feel a slight thrill with your words. It's not every day you successfully lie to a devil. The lich looks to the devil as though to ask, shall I smite him now? The fortunate devil does not seem to have taken offense to your cheekiness. Rather, his reptilian eyes bore into you as he leans closer, his fangs easily in striking distance. Now give me something I can use, Varys says. I suppose you want my soul, don't you? You blurt out. Of course, he says with a smile. What would you like it? What would you like for it? Not for sale, you say, shrinking back despite your wish to appear brave. Your friend Azazel sold, he says. He nods at the lich, as did he back when he was immortal. Lichdom is not easy to acquire, not even for a wizard as powerful as Emilios had been back then. Although you bring up some fine examples, I shall pass, you say. I better expect my soul to do better than hell. Expect my soul to do better than hell? Oh, I don't know about that. His voice switches to more pleasant, purring sort of timbre. He looks over at the lich for a moment, then back at you. Now would be a good time to sell, for I know who hunts you. Who hunts me? You'll need to be more specific. You say. Galmagus, he says. You say. Yes, he's angry about that succubus of his Vesa. First of all, I did not deliver the killing blow to her, which was our mutual acquaintance. That was a mutual acquaintance, Azazel. Second, Galmagus seems to have plenty of succubi where he comes from. She was his favorite, says Devil. She was trying to kill me, you say with your voice. Can't a man defend himself? But his back's a goat-like chortle, and the lich makes a long hissing sound. Forcing a big smile, you say, very well, gentlemen. We have shared a few laughs together and I've answered your question. Now, may you please release my friends from your spell, allow us on our way back? Varys grins back at you. Of course, that is if you can offer me something of value. You're going to rob me? We were minding our own business in this inn, but we came along. You shake your head disappointedly. The elf shot me without provocation and put a hole in my linen, says Lich. You shrug and point towards the Dell. His bow is quite valuable, so valuable that the elf actually gave it a name, in fact. I do not want trinkets. Says the devil, cutting you off. I said I want something valuable. Information is fine currency. In exchange, I shall allow you to go free. In addition, I offer the most valuable thing in the multiverse. He becomes silent. You assume he's creating dramatic pause. You take the bait. So you take the bait, which is, you ask time, he says, raising his clawed hands in a sealing to a grand gesture. Naturally, Emilius will notify Galmagus of where you are. After all, he's a member of Galmagus' house. I offer you time to escape. You heard this, Egra? You're being bullied into a lousy duel. Devils are known to do that, says Egra. With Egra being no help, you have no alternative but to argue. I think we should just tell him the location of Drala and Kalak, that they're going to the temple of whatever, eternal love. I think that would be good. That would be worthwhile information, I suppose. With Egra being no help, you have no alternative but to argue and say, I thought devils tempted mortals. This is just a terrible offer right off. There's no temptation or no sense of seduction. Again, I feel compelled to express my disappointment. Varys laughs and turns to the lich. Glorious hell, this man is brave and amusing. He turns back to you. Are you sure you won't sell your soul? For that I can tempt you. You shake your head and fold your arms. He frowns. Very well. Now what will you give me in exchange for your friend's freedom and your head start? He wants information. You have picked up some tidbits over the course of your recent adventures. A few come to your mind. I know who Drala's daughter is. Oh, that's good. No. I think that is good information. I don't know if he would be interested in Drala though, but he would definitely be interested in Nuxius. But I think I'm gonna go with Drala's daughter. Let's dive with that. I know who Drala's daughter is. You say Drala the All-Seeing, says Varys. You nod. Varys is silent as he stares at you with his reptilian eyes. My cruel thing to say, to tell a devil, says Egra. Kria deserves it for what she did to me, and if some of the tales of Drala are true, she deserves it too. I did not know that witch had children, says Varys. At last, I never ever thought her the motherly type. I suspect Drala is not a protective parent, you say, thinking of all the times you and Kria nearly died, starting from the sewer. But the identity of daughter is a closely guarded secret, a valuable secret. Varys nods. Very well, accept your offer. Isn't there a contract for me to sign, you say? Tell me now or a deal is void, you say. Her daughter grows by the name Kria, although she is also known as... what was her name again? I forgot her real name. Oh, come on, don't interrupt my fucking dealing. I'm trying to deal here. You spin around to see a black rat scurrying about towards you, his or her mouth open wide as it screams. Oh, because I get it. So, because Drala is seeing everything in the vicinity, now she knows that we're making a deal. Spin out to see a black rat scurrying around about towards you, his or her mouth open wide as it screams. It might be the same rat you saw earlier as came from Kria's room upstairs. His fur bursts into flames as the rhodostrait keeps running straight at you. You turn to flee. Boom. Engulfed in flame, the agony is horrible. Fortunately, it is quickly over. Alas, you finally succumb to your wounds and collapse. I see. So Drala is watching all this. Yeah, I guess she is Drala the All-Seeing, so I suppose it makes sense. I think I'm gonna go with the Nuxius then. Everyone seems to want to know where the Godslayer is, so his whereabouts ought to be enough. Besides, the Nuxius really has fallen to necromancy. There's no ethical reason to protect him from this devil and lich. Maybe all three can become friends, you think? Actually, that's a terrible thought. What do you think, Egra? You say. I think the champion should say what he wishes, although this is not any sort of explicit encouragement. You feel a warmth from her. You sense you're on the right track. I know where Nuxius the Godslayer is, you say. The goat devil smiles, eliciting a fresh round of blue saliva. He looks over at the lich. The lich's red eyes seem to brighten. You'd say he was smiling, except for his skull grins must always look like that. The devil turns back at you. That will be adequate as long as it is specific. How specific? You ask, arching your eyebrows. I can only tell you his whereabouts within, I don't know, a few hundred meters. Maybe. Varys nods. Good enough. Isn't there a contract for me to sign, you say? Tell me now or a deal is void, says Varys. And Nuxius is in the catacombs beneath the Temple of Eternal Loves, you say. Master, I feel he is not certain, says the lich. He raises a skeleton hand. Your heart slows, maybe even stops. You fall to your knees. As of a few hours ago, you gasp. That is where he was. Lich stares at you for a moment, turning to the devil and nods. He lowers his hand and the clasp around your heart releases. You suck in the deep breath and stand up. Varys smiles. Nuxius the Godslayer. Now that is a soul worth having. The lich nods. That explains why combat is so fierce in the Nadstrat district where the temple is. Perhaps not such a secret after all, says Varys, leaning towards you menacingly. The deal was I tell you and I told you, you say. Varys nods at Melius. Master, are you not actually going to free them? Says the lich. Melius, I always honor my word. You know that better than any, says Varys. You do not know Galmagus' wrath as I do, says the lich. Do you fear Galmagus? Asks Varys. I fear nothing, hisses Melius, other than you, my master. Yet I should rather avoid any inconvenience with the new lord of Kriuzaz. You have betrayed him many times, says Varys, waving a hand dismissively. How many years have you lived within the walls of Gal's palace, pretending to be of service to him, even as you are my pet? This fool of a boy is of no consequence. Galmagus wants. Fool he may be, says Varys, interrupting the lich. Yet I do not break an oath with a fool who has proven so often to be on the right side of fate. Nor would I slay such a man by my own hands if I can help it. The lich is silent. His skeleton jaw slightly opens. Finally he nods and waves his skeleton hands. There's a heavy breathing behind you. Spin it around, you see Priya and Adele wheezing as they struggle to recover from the spell. Your attention is brought forward by the clopping sound of Varys' return to the fireplace. My slave shall count to 30, after which he may choose to slay you himself or leave you to his other master, Galmagus. I would wish you luck, yet I really do not care. The flash of fire and a plume of smoke that quickly dissipates. The devil is gone. I've seen your Galmagus, you say to the lich. He's far too powerful to trouble with me, and slaying a gutter rat would be no sport for him. Doubtful. He will come for you himself. He has larger concerns, says Melius. My wife and I do not know any Galmagus, speaks Adele, still wheezing, nor this man. No gratitude for saving him from the demon, you think. Not that you blame the wood elf too much. Your relationship with him has been rocky. May I have some extra time to retrieve my trousers from upstairs? Adele is running by the door, pulling Pyria by the hand. My master spoke too freely within your presence, so I will wipe clean your feeble mind, says the lich. I do not remember him saying anything. In fact, what master of are you speaking of? I am naturally forgetful, you say. I shall still allow you the count of 30 allotted to you by master for all the good it will do, says Melios. He waves his hand. Alright, let's run then. 28, 27 comes a whispering voice. You look around. You and Pyria and Adele are out on the street in front of the leering Virgin Inn. You do not see where the whispering voice is coming from. The sounds of battle are everywhere. Shouts, snarls, and clanking of steel, punctured by explosions, yet you can still hear that voice through it all. 26. How do we get out of here? Says Pyria. Indeed, you're not sure. The last thing you remember was seeing that handsome man in the fine worn cloak. Now you're outside the inn. Egra, you shout in your mind, what happened? The lich erased your recent memory, says Egra cheerfully. No doubt he was afraid you would tell Galmegas that he has a treasonous lich in his presence. What? You shout out loud. 24. Another lich is counting down. At 0 he will tell Galmegas where you are and watch your painful demise. What? Stop saying that. Shouts Pyria. We should go back inside, says Adele. 22. So we should run, I'm guessing. Your ignorance was amusing, but is now tedious. I will restore your memory, says Egra. You feel a warmth spread through you as the memories rush back. God, you shout. We need to get out of it now. 18, 17, 16. Why did you speed up the counting? You shout into the air as the lich's voice. You recognize it now. He must be invisible, enjoying the show while making good on his master's deal. You consider the roofs were not fast enough. Invisibility will do you no good against Galmegas. I will transform into something to carry my friends away with that. Friends away upon. I like that, says Egra. What? 10, 8, you're skipping numbers. You shout to the unseen lich. You're going to want something that can fly and that the others can ride. With this pressure, only two ideas come to mind. I think I'm gonna go with Pegasus, because at least Pegasus can fly and it would be small. Dragon would be drawing everyone's attention. I'm gonna go with Pegasus then. Pyria, Adele, I'm going to transform into a Pegasus. Prepare to mount me, you shout. They both stare at you. You think you bet this madman, mutters Adele. 5, 4, make it so, Egra, make it so. The transformation takes hold. Swiftly, starting with your hands, morphing into hooves. You only have a moment to stare at them in mixture of awe and terror before your all fours grow. And then you can see the silhouette of a long white muzzle in your vision. 1. Apparently the transformation took 2 or 3 seconds. That might worth noting next time. If there is next time, mount me, you shout, but your words are nothing more than a long neigh. Does Pegasus not speak? At least your voice is low and silky, even if you cannot seem to form words. You try to tap your back with your hoof to tell the others to mount you, but it doesn't bend like that. And if you swing your head over, you smack your muzzle against your upper back. Thankfully, they get the hint. Adele and boost Pyria up on your back, and you stomp your forehooves, making a swiftly clopping noise. The crackling sound nearby. You turn your head and behold with your horse side eye a tear-shaped rift open up in air about 20 meters away. You have seen these demon portals before. Adele clambers aboard behind Pyria. Both of them are now seated behind your massive feathered wings. You give your wings a practice flap. It's like having another pair of arms. It takes concentration. Something large is squeezing through the portal, something demonic, just as you expected. Fortunately, it's not Galmegas, at least not the form you saw him in earlier. Unfortunately, this thing has 2 heads. One of the heads resemble a Babao demon, like the pair you fought in the lair of House Rudahir, with huge black eyes, horns, and a great deal of teeth. The other head is human, yet his skin hangs loose and melted, with extremely crooked teeth and bloody drool covering his chin and neck. The demon's body is also like the Babao demons. You remember a hairless, naked fiend covered in oozing blood, probably acid like the ones before. With long claws, the body of this monster is much larger than the Babao demons, at least twice as tall as a man, and this one has huge wings. He or they carry a long, many-tailed whips that ooze hissing blood acid. We should flee from that, says Egra. As if you need to toll this, you run and clopping your hooves. You're fast. You flap your wings tentatively at first, then harder. Up in the air you go, and soon you're above the roofs, most of the roofs. You swerve just in time and miss a taller building. You're so focused in the flying that it takes a second to realize that Pyria has her hands wrapped around your neck and strangling your knee and shake your head. She adjusts and takes hold of near where your neck wings attached to your body, so much more comfortable. You snort appreciatively. You emphasize with her terror. After all, it was not long ago that you were panic grabbing Kalak on your first flight. Elite save my soul, it pursues us, says Adele. The eyes on the side of your head are rather handy for looking back while moving forward. The two-headed demon is flying from after you, flapping its huge bat-like wings, gaining altitude.